This is the Medal Over reaction show to Barnsley 2-1 win against Exeter City, who finally got a win under our belts. Joined by Andy, Al and Craig. Me and Craig have made his return from the subs bench from midweek after being rotated out. So luckily no Joe today, which I'm sure shows put a massive smile on most people's face who are watching. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. So, Andy finally got that win under his belt that seemed like it was never going to come at some point. But took a little bit of time for us to get into the game. A little bit of huffing and puffing in the first half, not really much being done. Darryl Clark said he had a word with the players, which meant if you're not going to bother running now, you'll be coming in tomorrow to do it. Suddenly starting to tell players they're not having a day off tomorrow seems to work wonders. Because throughout that second half, with a lot more intensity and turned the game on its head.
I wish you'd said same to us and I could have a lie in. That'd be nice. I mean, I thought Joe and John did all right midweek instead of your two. But you know, let's be right. Let's be right. That they're all right, but they're not really ready for first team, are they? You know, they're only drafted in at last minute in emergency, so you know they're not regular first teamers, and neither should they be. But
Kind of like his
yeah,
centre defence issues at the minute.
I know,
Couple
I
of
know.
injuries.
The first win finally came, but you wouldn't have expected it at half time, that's for sure. Um, I thought the first half was, from our point of view, were a bit pappy, really. I don't think we were awful, but we weren't right good either. We didn't look like we were going to score. Every time the ball went up to the two strikers, Keelan didn't look strong enough. He was knocked off easy, and Humphreys, I don't know what we're up with him, but he couldn't seem to control ball or get over it, and it were easy for defence. For Exeter defence, they could easily have scored right at the start with Jack Aitchison coming back to haunt us. But to be honest, I think that's probably about unless you're telling me different, that's about the only thing I can remember that he did, which is a good thing. A good thing 'cause he's a good player. Um, the only other thing in the first half is, and it were a good move. You know, Keeler done were put through a lovely ball through by I think were it Johnny Russell? I'm not sure who it was by. That might have been. I'm not sure which player it was. I'm trying to remember now. It might have been Corey O'Keefe as well. I'm not sure who it was put him through. But he were through 1-on-1 with
Oh,
goalkeeper.
John Russell, yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's a few times we've been 1-on-1. And we tried to slide it past goalkeepers and they save it with a feed. All I would say is, because obviously I'm an expert in striking from back at East Stand, is lift it off at floor a little bit. Just, not at arm height, so you can just say thank you very much and catch it. But on floor, they just stick legs out, try and make the centre look big and stick legs out. And it's hitting legs and not, and it's just such a, it's just such a shame. So that'd have been a lot different going in at at 1-1 and two. But having said that, if we'd have gone in at 1-1, it might have been a very different response at half time from Darryl Clark, because he did get, from what we've already got under him, and like you say, at least he'll have a line to today like us. So wherever he said, properly said, it worked. The only thing is, there can only be so many times to be having a go at players for it to work. Eventually it can become you just switch off. It becomes white noise if you're not careful. But it certainly worked yesterday. Kelechi had a great game, both halves. He was our standout player in the first half, and truthfully, in the second half, he were outstanding. He looks like he's born to play there. So he can't, under any circumstances, for the next match, he can't be dropped and go back to the subs bench because he was that good yesterday, that good. And he crowned it off with a beautiful equaliser, an absolutely beautiful equaliser. Smacked it one and in it went. And I think that lifted us, and we started pushing. We started playing a lot better. They made about 4 substitutions all in one go, and at times came into it. They brought on a left winger that flattered to deceive. Put a couple of crosses in, but nobody were anywhere near him. But they started being a bit of a threat down sides. But and then what a pass to Da Vinci, De Givini comes forward with the ball, dinking and diving like he does, clipped it through for Stephen Humphreys, hit the byline, and as he hit the byline, he smacked it across about a foot off the ground. I'm thinking, flipping heck, he smacked that, and I know it were only about a yard out, but I thought Keeler done did really well to turn it in because he smacked it that hard off at floor. What we've seen of a recent matches is a ball pinged in like that, and we've done everything by touch the ball. So, well done to him for that. I thought that were really good. Going back to the first half, I thought their goal were really soft from a Barnsley point of view. Other people will disagree and that plays as ends. I'm not kidding that. Were it Ali? I'm not sure who went. The player that went down at edge at box. Mate, he's a delicate little flower, isn't he? He looked at him funny and down he went, in my view. Hardly. If he touched him, if he, big strong lad like that, and he went down like that, that was, in my personal view, close to cheating. I thought, get up, you big Jesse, and sort yourself out. But worse what to follow because the free kick were hardly Lionel Messi smacking it into corner. I'm not sure why we're bothered having a wall up because to say it were a pappy wall, it just went through wall on floor like it weren't there, except taking a flipping big deflection. The wall were awful, absolutely awful. It's supposed to be a solid wall and balls can't get through. Well, it went through at a canter. It didn't even have to try hard. It went through. So that were very, very disappointing. Then right at end, we did our level best to do what we do in injury time, but we left a player with a good volley. He could have really smacked that, and he did. But fortunately, it weren't too far away from Killip, who made a pretty decent save to keep us in the lead, and obviously we won. It was nice to see Watters back. I thought when he came on, he had a bit of purpose, running after the ball and what have you. So I thought that were a good thing that he were on bench. Didn't know if he were going to be fit enough, but it's nice to see him back because we certainly need that option. Um, so all in all, we've come back with 3 points. And what did amuse me is I've read from on Twitter, one of their fans, one Exeter fans, has said, "Were I always saying I'm disgusted that he's used it, the snatched defeat from the jaws of victory," and they possibly did. But they deserved it. We deserve what we got in end. So,
Yeah, Ali, we're a little bit of one of those of previous weeks we've played better and come away with nothing. And Daryl Clark I think came out and said that's the worst performance in the last six, and it's the game which we have won. Which sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes, isn't it? Of you don't have to play at your best to go and get 3 points. And Exeter, to be fair, didn't as much as we weren't great in the first half. It's not like they were in complete control of it. I think it was just a poor stand in that first half for me.
Actually, didn't on our poor performance, they didn't make best of it, did they? That first half was shocking. It were awful. I mean, 22 seconds, we were nearly one behind, and you're thinking, "Come on, get out at blocks here. What we're doing?" And as Clark says, he didn't enjoy the win because of how we played. I mean, he said in the last five, we've been solid, haven't we? And at half time, he said there were words bouncing off the dressing room wall. And I think, as you say, he threatened them that if they don't pick up, they'll be in today. So there were a difference, and there was a big difference second half. And what a full debut for Kelechi Nwakali. What a performance that was from lad. I think his pass rate were about 93, 94%, and a goal as well. I put that down as same as when Daniel Nardiello had his first game with us on that Tuesday night and scored, and then against Huddersfield, wasn't it? Go on up. Oh, mine's gone.
you've
It's
lost us all, Al.
hey,
We're all looking bemused. Keep going, Al.
from Middlesbrough. Oh, forget it now. But two players had a good first game, and more to come from Cal. You can't drop him. So And then, as Andy says, what a drive by MDG, ball out, then to wide for Humphreys, and a lovely goal then, which he needed a goal. DKD, I won't say Keeler, I'll stop at that.
MDFL.
Hey, I'll stop at that.
MDF.
And I think we hung on at end because the last 10 minutes or so they were pushing us back, and Killip saved us in final minutes, didn't he? With that save, I mean, it wasn't a good shot, but he should have done better with it. So, 530-mile trip for 400 Barnsley fans. Credit to you lads and lasses. Well done.
And came home with 3 points, so it's always a nice little bonus. Craig, as Andy and I both mentioned there, Nwakali had a fantastic game and sort of was that shining light in that first half where it was still a little bit dull. And I think you are right, I'll have pass completion percentage of 93% and did attempt the most passes, if I remember rightly from what Doug had put on. So it seems like we have got a further option now in that midfield that we didn't necessarily know about a couple of months ago when Nwakali come and he's still getting up to speed. I think he got sent off in the 21s and it made it a little bit. Started to question the signing of touch because he'd not played for the first 3 months of him being here, and then seemed to have a couple of issues in the 21s. So nice to see him actually come into the first team and make such a big impact.
Yeah, I think we've seen signs of it when he's come off the bench. I think we've seen what a good player he can be, and it's nice to see him get his starts. I know it's because obviously Phillips is not able to play, so yeah, it's good. Always good to have more options. The match overall, first half, I couldn't believe we were all watching. It was terrible. It was lethargic. We looked like we couldn't be bothered, and I understand getting a good team talk from manager is going to. It's a good thing to see that you can get a reaction and all this, but you're professional football players, and if you can't get you sent up for a game, you need a manager to do it for you. You've got an issue. So I do think there's other issues that need to be ironed out, because if they think they can come out and play like that and that it might be passable, you need everybody firing on all cylinders, especially in League One. You can't have a week off. You can't have halves off even.
But
It
on
was
that, just on that, where you said like they are players though. At the end of the day, they're not robots going out week in week out to play at that exact same standard every single week, which we'd all love them to do.
now if
But
they were playing
can't
every
do
single
that.
day, I'd get the argument.
No, every single week.
was
Like you're not going to play well, and you've also got a team against you that don't want you to play well. They're trying to stop you at the same time.
there's plenty of teams that play well every week that don't initially get the results that they deserve, but
I mean,
the drop
you could-
off. No, I mean, you look at the levels between first and second half. That's a massive gap. It's not like we were just a little bit off. We were shocking in the first half. In fact, I were all over turning it off because I thought we were due that much for a defeat. But obviously, I persevered because of the channel, and the fact is, I like to give my opinion. So I persevered, and I'm glad I did, because it's nice. It's nice I did get a reaction, but the drop off was ridiculously off. But all in all, you've got to think we've had changes in there as well, especially at the back. I thought Conor McCarthy played well, considering he got a yellow card in on the 11th minute. I thought I thought he was going to get sent off. I thought he's off the pace. He's not played in a while. One more bad challenge and he's gone. But I thought he played pretty well for the rest of the game. Donovan, I also thought played particularly well. Last couple of times he's come on off a bench, he's been a bit stray with his passing. He's put Luke Cole in a few holes with his passing, but I thought he was pretty good yesterday. In fact, I like seeing Keeler Dunn and Humphreys up front together. I hate seeing this put Keeler Dunn at left wing, Adam Phillips on right, and Humphreys on his own up top. I don't think it works. Which is why I got really scared towards 80th minute when we made the changes and we went to like a 5-4-1. It left us no out ball. There were only Watters up there, and there really is not that guy. But we got the result, and this is the sort of results that you need to get through to get to playoffs. You know, you can't. These are the ones that you drag your son through. I just hope that we can get up for the next game more than we did this one, because I think this were a bit of a let off. If the opponent were a little bit more ruthless, I think we could have been in trouble yesterday. I sent my prediction in before game as a 2-2. So yeah, it's nice seeing Andy special for once. And yeah, I didn't think Luke Conlon had his best game. I thought, well, the crossing in this team is a real issue. Other than George Gent, I see nobody putting decent balls into that box. Apart from Humphries, obviously, who set up DKD, but he's a striker. So, but
I'd said with a volume of crosses that Georgie Gent puts in as well, it's
mm,
not brilliant from his side either.
yeah. He puts in like 1 in 5 is a good cross. But to say we got Humphries in there, who's pretty decent in the air, it's always going too far or too like it's going over everybody all the time. Just whip it in there, goalkeeper. You never know if he's going to spill it. You know, I thought I would see DKD go on score sheet again. I think he's been knocking on the door in recent games. To be quite honest with you, when he missed that 1-on-1, though, I was like, oh no. I watched the podcast with Shane Long, and he were talking about how I would watch tapes of goalkeepers that were coming up against to see how they spread themselves on 1-on-1 situations. He could really do with doing that, because he used to say that Casper Schmeichel used to spread himself wide so he could always put it through his legs, and how Ben Foster used to get really low so he could lift it over him. So just a tip for any budding strikers there: have a look at your goalkeeper spread this in 1-on-1 situations so you know how to get past them. But yeah, it's we'll take the result. I'll take a little bit of confidence from it. Obviously, we've had in the league a run of 5 games without a win, so it was nice to put a stop to that. But we need to move on to the next game. We've got a week to prepare. I just hope for a solid 90-minute performance in next game.
Chris reminded me of other player of that debut, Craig Ignat against Huddersfield. There you go.
See, he's better now. He can get on with his day now.
He's walk up.
He's defrosted. There we go. Finally, we're cracking on. Andy, Craig mentioned there sort of Conor McCarthy coming in, as well as Donovan Pines into that back three instead of Robertson Earl, who were both out for a couple of weeks. A little bit of, I don't know, hesitation to see how that works, but I did see Doug put a tweet that said something like, of the 11 games that Donovan Pines has played in, we've picked up 23 points, and then for the 23 games he's not played in, we've picked up 23 points or something like that. So he does clearly make a difference. I think he makes a difference as well at both ends, of both an attacking threat from set pieces and also defensively helping to negate when they've got set piece and things as well. And a very solid performance for a very cold back three in terms of the amount of games that they've all played this season, especially they've not played a game together as a three.
Well, start with Donovan. I thought Donovan were really good yesterday. What I love about him, apart from his height and dominating in the air, but in both boxes, it's the way, because he's got long legs. The way he comes in, he gets his foot on the ball. He's not shimmying behind attackers so they can sort of hold him off and what have you. If they hold him off, then they're not going to be stood on their feet. And the only way they can go down is by making themselves look ridiculous. Because he just comes up behind them at some pace, puts his foot through and gets ball away. So for that, he always attacks the ball, and you won't want to be a player stuck between him and the ball, because you're not going to come out best. I was concerned before we kicked off about Conor McCarthy starting for many reasons. There's a reason why he's not been playing for so long. Injury to start with, and then latterly he's just not getting picked. So I've said a few times that I think he's one that should be looking to go elsewhere to get game time. So it's not fair for him. He came in yesterday and I thought, well, it came in midweek last week for, I don't know how long it was. It felt about 3 or 4 minutes. Come on, and then we changed formation. We sent enough for Adam Phillips, and then it came off again. So that was, felt for him with that. But yesterday, I thought he did well, and as Craig said, especially after the first booking, which was his first tackle, and you can say, oh, he got his shirt and what have you. Thought it were, if I'm honest, I thought they got free kick. Thought it were a bit harsh, but if that's what it is, that's what it is. He didn't do it the other way later on. The ref when an Exeter player got hold of a shirt and pulled it. Nothing, just get free kick.
I was
So
about to say that. Even commentators
yeah,
said that as well.
I just think just be consistent. If you're going to do it for one so early on and it's this first tackle, then that's fine. I thought it would be like I said, I thought it would be a bit harsh, but that's fine. But be consistent. That's me. That's my bit of a rant about referee. Weren't always that good. But defensively, I thought we did all right. I were impressed with McCarthy. Really worried when you can't just change the defence like that and hope to God it'll work. But yesterday it weren't bad, and they got some movement. McGuinness is not a slouch, and he's a big, strong lad. And they got some other players in there like Ali, who's low gravity and nippy, and chucking his centre bar and all. I'll say that. Um, I thought they stood up well, but for me, Killip's looking more and more. What I do like about Killip, and I know some people say, "Oh, he's kicking." I think his kicking's fine. When ball's played back to him, he's not shuffling about, panicking. He can use either foot, and he'll move the ball to either foot to kick clear. He's right-footed. We know he's right-footed, but he uses his left foot really, really well. He don't think, "Oh, I've got to get on my right foot." He'll move it to either foot and get it clear. So, I thought the defence were pretty decent, and they needed to be, but I thought they were all right as game went on.
Yeah, it did seem like they seemed to grow into it as a three, and especially as we mentioned so far of McCarthy early booking. He's not played too much. As Craig said, it was one of those where he might get sent off here, and it's almost like no fault of his own. So I did think that first booking was a little bit harsh.
It was too harsh, wasn't it? To be honest, after that, one of their players coming to one of back of ours as they were driving forward, and they didn't get a booking. So no consistency with referee whatsoever. But yeah, great to see him back, and great to see him get 90. Did he get 90 minutes? He did, didn't he? So that were good. But as I say, as Darryl Clark says, we can't have too many more of these performances. Halves like that first half. If we want to be pushing to getting top six, we've got to put them to bed. And I thought Max Waters looked sharp when he come back on. So there's more to come from Max. So it all looks good, to be honest, for this Christmas period. Now we've put us, 2 points in 15 to bed. So really looking forward to Christmas period now.
3 points out of 3 now, Al. Yeah.
That's
Once
exactly
one
what
that don't
wants.
make a winter, Al, or something like that.
Yeah, there we go. Craig obviously puts us seventh in the league, just a point outside the top six. But again, we've played the most amount of games, barring Stockport and Wrexham. They're only the two sides in the top six that have played 20 games on with us. Bolton on the same points to us, but 2 games in hand. Lincoln 2 points back. And after that, we've sort of got a bit of a gap that's big enough to bridge, even if teams win the game in hand. So it seems like we've started to separate ourselves from almost a bit of a chasing pack towards the top six. And we've got a little bit more favourable games coming up over the next couple of weeks compared to what we've just gone through. So do you think we'll make top six by January? Do you think we'll be actually sat in the top six in Jan? Because we've got better fixtures coming up. Again, they're not easy, but they've got better fixtures than what we have had. And it could be just in time if we hit a nice little bit of form following from this win.
It's difficult to say because I don't think we performed. I thought we performed better against Birmingham than we did yesterday, and we didn't get the points. So We need to get the ball in the back of the net. You know, we need to start scoring a few more of his chances. Yeah, I think we'll probably be sixth, fifth come January. Is that good enough? Probably not. I think we still need some additions in January. I want to see what's going to happen with Matthew Craig. I think he should get sent back, and say with Slanina. I think neither of them's made enough of an impact to justify paying. Possibly, I don't know if we're paying much of the wages, but even if we're paying a small amount, they're not justifying
I think
us
as well
paying it.
as well it'll open up them loan spots again to bring someone else in that
Yeah, I think
is back.
yeah, we really need to get another left wing back in because I think again, I don't think he's got 2 games in him a week. He seems to be hit and miss. Plays really good one game and then he'll slow down it next game. I think same with O'Keefe. I think it's just a system they're playing. I think wing backs have to do a lot of work.
Mhm.
And Cotter don't seem to be in favour with manager at all. It doesn't seem to be playing much recently. If any, you can say he's played. But also, I think having another attacking option could come in handy as well because I think Humphreys, I think he's the same. You know, I think we need somebody to come in for him. Cosgrove's not it. I think he needs to leave. I don't think his performances have been anything this season. I think he had a good few games at the last season, and everybody then were gaslighting into thinking he were going to be brilliant. I may be one of them because I thought he'd get 20 goals this season. For some reason, I'll take that. I'll take that criticism. I just thought that under Darrell Clark would play to Cosgrove's strengths, but I don't really see Cosgrove as having any strengths anymore. I don't think he's really good in the air. I think Humphries is better. So, yeah, but look, in January, improvements are needed. You know, owner needs to have a word with Mladen and get some transfers sorted and leave his property buying to one side for a month and put Barnsley at the forefront. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm hopeful we'll be in top six.
The board's got to back Darrell Clark. They've got to back him.
Dean what he needs.
They've got
You
to back
know,
him. They've really got to back him.
I
If we want to get in that top six and push on even to top two if we can, they've got to back him in this transfer window, and we've got to get players in early, not wait while to end of January.
I want to understand this is not being backed in the summer because I don't get it. Fundamentally, on paper, that team is better than the team that started last season because we had two non-league centre halves in our starting 11 from last season. This season, we didn't have that. We just weren't. We've got better players, just not as good as a system. I don't get this. The board needs to back him. We went and dropped nearly £1 million on DKD, which we'd never done for Neil Collins. He didn't get that of any players we got. Granted, we lost Herbie Kane, Jordan Williams, Devante Cole, and the players we lost on freeze, but we knew we were losing those players on freeze. That didn't come as a shock to anybody. So we retained all key players over that summer, kept Adam Phillips, kept Luke Connell, two players we thought would probably lose, kept them, and added experience in Matt Roberts came in, Conor Hourihane came in as a player coach, but is now basically a coach. Brought in DKD for 750 grand. Enhanced a few areas, moved Callum Styles on, brought Gent in. The only criticism is that left wing back position, but I don't think Dolgat's not been backed. To be fair, I think we've got better players in.
I think the criticism I've got is the left wing back position and the Conor Hourihane situation. You know, I thought we were getting a Marshall in that midfield, somebody to take the pressure off Luke Connell. Obviously, we being captain, and I thought he'd usher him along, but I really feel that the fans were lied to because it did say when he signed that he'd play, and he hasn't. So I feel like we've we've been promised something that we haven't received it, and I think I think the team has struggled because of that. I think if having Hourihane as an option, I think the coach might have made different decisions in certain matches this season. If they had Hourihane who could have played. I'm thinking games where Connell's not been playing, you could have had Hourihane sitting, and thinking games like that. DKD. The only issue I've got with DKD is we've signed a player and we're not playing him where we've signed him to. We were playing at a former club where he played well. We're putting him up front, we're putting him out wide. He played neither of them positions. He played behind the striker. So they're the three criticisms I've got. So left wing back, not enough depth. Conor Hourihane not playing, leaving us short in midfield, and DKD buying a player. Fundamentally, a good purchase. I love DKD. I think he's a great player, but not playing him where he's been successful before.
And two of those are the board, and one of them's Daryl Clark, though.
Yeah.
The third one's not.
Yeah. I'm not blaming both for the
though.
DKD one.
I get that. Hurrian's played what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, in a couple.
As I know. No, he come on against Mansfield, didn't he, for the last 20 minutes?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Is that the only time he's played?
Pretty much.
This season?
Got to say, getting Conor Hourihane with a marketing ploy by football club to get season ticket sales up.
I want to know, is he on coaches' wages or player wages? Because players get paid more than coaches do.
He'll probably be on a negotiated wage that's probably halfway house, I imagine.
Hybrid, won't he?
Sorry, but if he's taking wages away from a potential new signing, then I'm not happy with it at all. Because you should either be a coach or you should be a player. I don't know.
I'd imagine it's less than what it would be as a player. What he would be on as a player, if I had to guess, just because of the sheer fact of he's not played. And if the club wouldn't want. No one wins in that situation. So the only person wins Conor. The club don't win by allowing him by paying him so much as a coach.
If he's on part players, does he get win bonuses and all, even though he's not playing?
No idea. No idea. He might do, but only if he plays. I'd imagine if he.
I don't know, but I just feel like as a fan, we were all raring to see Hourihane back at Oakwell, and I just think we've been gaslit, and I don't like it.
If someone's bought a season ticket off the fact seeing Conor Hourihane play,
no, but it could have been one of the reasons why. It could have been a contributing factor.
Oh,
the fact is they're going to see a legend back on the grass. Like Mia didn't get to see the years when he was brilliant, and she's heard the stories and all this, and I've said, oh yeah, you'll see, you'll get to see him on, and she's not seen hardly anything, so she was gaslit as well. So I don't know.
I think it was pretty clear he was coming in predominantly to be a coach. And that's what he's become. I'm disappointed that he's not played as much, but I think it will be becoming pretty obvious that we got Connell that plays in that defensive midfield. We signed Kelechi. We also got Matt Craig as well to play in that position. So he were only going to like to be playing in emergencies. I think we've had some emergencies, and he's not played. So I do think it's disappointing, but. I don't think we expect to. He said right at the start, he didn't expect to play that many matches, although he did last season. Sometimes players have got to understand when they've reached the peak and they're starting to come down the other end. He shouldn't have been because he's a quality player, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over Hourihane not starting. He's got other priorities now, which is to get us playing in a certain way of football, and I think over the last few weeks, even though the results haven't been there, he's starting to have a good influence.
Yeah, I think as well when Dean Whitehead left, probably force Randy even more to be like, oh, we need someone to plug that coaching gap we've got now. Instead of bringing someone else in, just make Conor basically a full-time coach from that point on. Right. Anything else you want to discuss, fellas? No, Al wants to get back to bed. Fair play.
Sick bed.
Hey, I've got kids. I'm up now. That's it.
I think I might go back to bed as well. I'm just struggling to make a full 90.
I mean, on the left wing back bit, I mean, let's remember, I've said that we could do with some extra depth there if Georgie gets suspended or wherever or injured or whatever. It leaves us a bit. But we did start with Artim, and although I think he's a bit out of position with O'Keefe out there, and Kieran Lofthouse has come more and more into it this season. Didn't do much last season, but he's coming in more this season. I think he needs to be a bit stronger, but sometimes, not always, but sometimes. But wing backs his normal position. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's all about you've got whatever money you've got or whatever budget you've got or how little you've got. You can only get you can only get your top priority. For me, the top priority is getting somebody that can do a DKD yesterday and put it in from a yard out or 2 yards out because we've been missing it. Maybe it'll be Max Waters back. Thank God for that. Well,
Are we all in agreement that played at match yesterday were Kelechi Nwakali?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
100%. Right, we'll be back on Wednesday to preview Leyton Orient at the weekend. We'll probably dive a little bit deeper into January transfer window as well. I know you've already discussed it, Andy, now, but me and Craig, we've not been there. Wonder if your thoughts would change.
I'll not be here Wednesday, mate.
Oh, Craig can't be bothered. So
I'm on
never
holiday.
mind.
Can I just ask you, Josh, what easy games do you think we've got coming up?
Leyton Orient.
I remember
Crawley.
we're away to Bolton, we're playing Peterborough, and we're
Leyton Orient and Crawley.
And then Wrexham over Christmas, and New Year's Day.
Yeah, next year, all right, because we've got Crawley and Leyton Orient.
A mere bagatelle, Al. Mere bagatelle. Wrexham at home, note. Peterborough away, easy pickings. Bolton away, Dark Satanic Mills, they're all off again.
The fan zone won't be. Oh, what? They lost, didn't they, yesterday and all 2-0.
Everett out. He'll be out by New Year.
He could ask for first time yesterday about if he's took this team as far as he can.
Yeah.
That's why it's easy. Bolton, they're a slide. Peterborough, awful. Wrexham, lucky when we played them last time. Took them to the last minute. Not get that at home. So
9 points incoming then, according to Josh.
No, 15 really. If you include this and then win on Saturday as Leyton Orient, 15 of this festive period.
Leyton Orient may as well just stop down in London and not bother turning up, Josh?
No, well, to be fair, that's on 4th of Jan.
Is that?
I think he's drinking some of that Happy Clapper juice.
4th of Jan. After Crawley, that'll be 18 points, so probably top 2 by then.
Do you know what teams scare me in this league?
It's easy.
Teams that work harder than we do. Because I think we can be got if a team works harder than we do.
Nah, we beat them and all. We'll beat them.
Mansfield worked harder than we did.
Craig, the tide is turning. There you go.
We've won a game.
Joe out. That's all it is. Trying to keep
We've won a game. That's it now. We're flying again. We just needed that win. That's all we needed. I just can't get over the fact that it was worse that we played. You just knew about one that we played worse now, but that's 6.
By margins, what we've been saying, isn't it? That we've played not won games. It's weird. It's like that, isn't it?
But after that, after many they scored though, we just thought it would be one of them games again because it was another lucky goal. Right, get your thoughts on yesterday's game down in the comments below, and as well, we'll keep discussion going about the transfer window, which is Andy's favourite topic to discuss, players leaving especially. Get your thoughts down on that as well in the comments below. We'll keep that discussion going all the way up until the transfer window. And we're back on Wednesday to preview Leyton Orient. We'll see you there, you Reds.